Well, we have FCA, we have DCA. Actually, we can have the different criteria, and so that you can have the optimization, and so that you can have the possible design for the channel allocations. So it's true. And right now, we want to have the other, for example, we can consider the hybrid one. Hybrid one says, okay, for some channel, we can have use them based on FCA, and some of them based on DCA. And also, we can have the flexible one. So how to have a flexible one later, we need to check it, then you will know. And furthermore, okay, if we specifically have the handoff consideration, then we can have the handoff channel allocation. So we can have these. And first of all, data check hybrid one. Hybrid one is combination of both FCA and DCA. So I think hybrid, the term hybrid actually covers the two. All right. But the hybrid one, we have a factor to determine. We should fix some channels, and so that those channels are used by FCA, as for the others used by based on the DCA. So we should have the ratio. Ratio for FCA and the DCA. So how to have the ratio? You can try, for example, but if you don't want to have the optimized value, maybe you can try, okay, initially half and half. Or maybe you can have 30% to 70%. All right. So right now, I just let you know, okay, maybe we have for some reason, we have the fixed one. Once we have the fixed one, normally we can have FCA, and if no, then we can rely on DCA. So here it says, a call requires service from a cell. If all the channel based on FCA are occupied, then we try to seek a possible channel from the dynamic sets. So it says regular sets based on FCA, anyone available. If no, then of course I try to seek the possible channel from the second set. So FCA and DCA, actually we can have two sets. One set based on FCA and one set based on DCA. Of course, the priority based on these, FCA first. If no, then we seek a channel from DCA set. If no, then no. The code will be blocked. So this is the hybrid one. And previously, I don't know, okay, we should have the setting. How about half and half? You can try. But someone check, oh, we should have the optimal ratio. Optimal ratio to have the best performance. And then the suggested ratio should be this. But the suggested ratio always provide the optimal performance. It doesn't mean yes. But someone based on some setting, it says, oh, those settings suggest this ratio. So you should understand, it pretty depends. It depends on, for example, the traffic intensity. If we have a low, moderate, and high traffic intensity, we won't have the fixed ratio. If we won't have the fixed ratio, then how to do? In fact, we can try, okay, initially, half and half. If we feel, okay, currently, we have the frequency to use the dynamic set, then we can enlarge a bit the fixed set, right? So the current problem is, We have a fixed set, and we have a dynamic set. If we always exhaust it fixed set, then we can enlarge it. So we pass out this way. If the first stage we don't have the channel always, and then we return to this, so we can enlarge it. Maybe enlarge one. So we can pass on this way to tune how to have the fixed ratio. You understand this? For example, how about 50-50? Okay, 50-50 within not enough, so we can have 50 plus 1 and 50 minus 1. Still not enough, we can increase further. We can use this so that we can reach the optimal ratio, right? Do you agree with this? Same. If we have the dynamic way to tune the ratio, how about changing the traffic load? If we change the traffic load, then the ratio will be readjusted. However, even it can be readjusted, but at least we have the optimal way to set the ratio. It doesn't mean we always rely on the optimal ratio suggested like 3:1. No. All right. So about the ratio, you still can have the optimal manner to adjust it. Even initially, we don't have the optimal ratio set already, but we can try to tune the optimal set if we think, okay, we don't have enough channel within the fixed set, then we can increase by 1. Or maybe you think, okay, the time is to reach the convergence, the time is long, so you can try to have the different gap, maybe 2 channels, or maybe 3 channels. So you can have the different way to readjust. To have the fast way to reach the convergence, you have the big gap or the big step, and so that you can reach the convergence quickly. So I don't know we should have the ratio. Actually, someone suggests the optimal ratio, but the optimal ratio actually based on some traffic condition. Well, here it says, why this? 3:1 we know beyond 50%, but why we should set beyond 50%? Actually, we just want to have a flexibility. So the flexibility maybe not many channels. So of course, lower than 50% to the dynamic set. So it's true, beyond 50%. So that's why we have a 3:1 for fixed to dynamic. Of course, for dynamic, here pass on this 15 to 32, partially for the testing. So you see, 3:1, we can remain the optimal always? No, we still can have the flexibility. Maybe not to 32, perhaps lower than 51. So that's why I barely have the suggestion. We can have the way to readjust, or we can have the adaptation approach to have the optimal ratio. The optimal ratio maybe not fixed at 3:1. So about this, actually, the problem for this one, actually, it's the possible optimal ratio. All right, so this is the first one, hybrid channel allocation. About hybrid channel allocation, still allow you to have 2 minutes to discuss with your neighbors and check it out. So you can check your slides for sure. Specifically checking hybrid channel allocation. So let me measure about hybrid chain allocation. Any questions? No, right? And before I continue, I still want to remind you of the date of the final exam, 3 weeks later, right? So you need to prepare, and the style it looks like the problem coming from, for example, coming from our self-exercise, and also some like the problem I set for group discussions. All right. If you want to prepare at least, notice you need to know some problems for the self-exercise and the problem from the group discussions. All right. And of course, you need to check some of the examples for the slides as well. So at least you need to cover the 3 sets: self-exercise, group discussions, and some example for the slides. All right. As for the others, maybe at least you need to know the meaning of the description. So sometimes it doesn't mean you need to have the calculation. Maybe I ask you, for example, a comparison or something else. Well, is it possible to have the derivations? It's possible, but just a few. All right, so it's possible to have the derivation. However, it's a few. It doesn't mean, oh, okay, you are many derivation. Derivation means it's possible to have some further equation derived by you. It's possible. So that says about the discussion in chapter 2. You need to take care of some derivation coming from chapter 2 as well. So you need to check that for sure. So this is a reminder, just let you know. And right now, let me continue to check the next one.